Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I have a extra video for you this week, and that is going to be my April TBR as well as everything that I read in March, because there's some really good ones and I've already read one book. It's April 1st right now and I read a whole book this morning. It was an audiobook, to be fair, but still. So I'm really excited because I read some really good books in March and I have some really good books coming up in April that I want to read, and I'm so excited to share it with you guys. So let's first go over the books that I read in March. So I read 5 books in March, which is a lot for me. I am really on my reading grind this year, and one of my goals was to focus on quality over quantity, and right now I feel like I'm really hitting the mark on both. I'm reading books that are really good quality to me. Some obviously are not the best. And then I'm also reading a lot. And I think I owe that to Libby. I owe it to Libby. I owe it to audiobooks. I owe it to ebooks, because physically reading books right now is just really slowing me down and putting me into a slump for some reason. So with that being said, let's just go over the books that I read in the month of March. Okay, the first book that I read in March is Sword Heart by T. Kingfisher. This book put me back on to T. Kingfisher because I read one of her books last year and I started another one as well last year that I never finished. And then this one, I just decided to go for it because I've been hearing a lot of people talk about T. Kingfisher. I feel like she's having kind of like a moment, at least within the last few months. A lot of people have been going for her books, which is crazy. So I decided to start with this one because I bought this for myself for my birthday last year and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was just like a fun, cozy fantasy romance time, and I would really recommend it if you are looking for a fun, cozy fantasy romance with a really interesting world. I think this is really good. Next, I read The Night and the Moth. I got this from the library, but I mostly listened to it like the audiobook. And this was my first 5-star read of the year. I seriously loved this book. And I know that there's a big group of people that didn't like it. I don't know. I really loved it. I really loved the magic system. I loved the way that the diviners work. And I just really love the story. I loved where it went. I cannot wait for the next one. I don't know if it's going to be a whole series or a duology or a trilogy or anything like that, but I seriously cannot wait for the next one. I'm thinking about this book every day, constantly, and I feel like Sword Heart and The Night and the Moth really put me on to medieval fantasy right now. So that's a lot of the stuff that I'm reaching for. Then I read Paladin's Grace. I read the ebook on my Kobo and listened to the audiobook as well, and I loved it. It takes place in the same universe as Sword Heart. They're not the same series, but the same universe, and Sword Heart is having a second book come out this year, I believe. Maybe next year. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. But I thought it was so cool because I didn't know that they were taking place in the same universe until I started Paladin's Grace, and on the first page they talk about the Temple of the White Rat, which is from Sword Heart. So I was like, oh my god, that's crazy. And I absolutely ate it up. I loved it. T. Kingfisher just writes fantasy romance so well, or even in her horror books, because I read A House with Good Bones last year, which is a horror. She writes some kind of connection between two people and it's always so well done. She just, even though there was no real romance in A House with Good Bones, it was just still so well done. She's hilarious. I love her writing. I feel like me and T. Kingfisher have the same sense of humor, because just the way that her characters are just the way that my brain works, and it's so funny. So loved that. I will also quickly go over the DNFs after. Then I read Hemlock and Silver by T. Kingfisher, and this one was good. I finished it a couple days ago. I listened to the audiobook. I tried to read the ebook, but I couldn't really get into it on the ebook. And this one, I barely remember anything. I'm going to be completely honest. It was kind of like a palate cleanser. I just was kind of listening to it for purely entertainment at that point. I wouldn't say it's my favorite T. Kingfisher. A lot of people love Hemlock and Silver, and it got them into T. Kingfisher, but it just wasn't my favorite. I think upon a reread, it will be better, or I'll like it more. Maybe if I read it physically, might help a bit. But yeah, I really liked the concept though. And lastly, last night I finished the last book that I read this month, which was Quicksilver by Callie Hart. And I also really, really love this book. I gave it like a 3.5, 3.75 stars. I don't really like to rate books, hence why I've like barely set any rating. At first, like recency bias, I was gonna say it's like a 4-star, but when I really think about it, I'm like, it's more of like a 3.5, 3.75 star book. Really good. Did not expect how spicy it was gonna be. Did not expect that. I go into books usually completely blind, and it really took me aback. There were some things that I didn't super love about the book. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to spoil anything, but I did enjoy it enough to want to read the second one, and I would probably buy these if that gauges it for you, because I've said it in like all my videos. I don't buy books until after I've read them to see if I actually really liked it or if it's worth rereading. So, well, this one I didn't. I bought this first because it was $5 at my bookstore. It was on sale for $5. So, you know, a few things like that. But yeah, I would buy it, but it wasn't like my favorite book in the world. And then for DNFs, I DNF'd What Moves the Dead at like 75%. I think I got off on the wrong foot with this series. I think if I read it like physically or the ebook, it would have gone better, but I feel so bad. I really did not like the narrator's voice, but I was pushing through it, and I think it just like really took me out of it and put like, it's nothing against the narrator as a person, but it put like a bad taste for that book in my mouth, and I just could not get past it. I really would like to try again and get through those books at some point because I think I would really like them. Fungus horror is not my favorite, which is crazy because if you're one of my friends, you know that I love fungus. I love mushrooms. I love anything to do with that. It's one of my hyperfixations. But this is the second fungal horror book that I've read, and I didn't really like it. So maybe it's not for me. I'm not sure. Last year or the year before, I read The Graveyard Shift by M.L. Rio, and I didn't like it. So I don't know, but maybe I'll get back to that. The next one I DNF'd is Thornhedge by T. Kingfisher, which is actually going to be on the TBR for April. I also DNF'd it last year, I think it was, or the year before. Not for any reason other than I just had other books that I wanted to read ahead of it. So yeah. And then I also DNF'd Lightlark by Alex Astor. I said it in another vlog, but it's just not what I thought it was going to be. And I'm not a huge fan of the writing. Which is really unfortunate because it's one of the books that I unfortunately bought before I had read it because I thought I would really, really like it. And I'm not loving it, but I think I need to give it some time, and I think I will probably get back to it at some point and try to finish it and see where it goes because I really, really want to. I really like the concept of it, so we'll see. And then the last one that I sort of DNF'd, but not really, is Paladin's Strength. This is the second book in the like Paladin's Grace series. They're called the Saint of Steel series. That's what it's called. My lovely friend Faith bought me a physical copy of the second one because I couldn't find it anywhere and I wanted to read it so bad. But this one is just like putting me in a bit of a slump, unfortunately. I do want to push through and finish it because I want to read the rest of the series. I think I've heard that the third one is really, really good, so I want to push through it. And I don't think that they're books that you could read out of order because of this like murder mystery plot that's going on in the background. I feel like if you read them out of order, it would just get like spoiled for you. So I'm going to push through, but I like soft DNF'd it in March to focus on other books. Now let's get into my TBR for April. So the first one is Tunnel of Bones by Victoria Schwab, which I already started and finished today. It's 9:30 in the morning right now currently. It's only a 5-hour audiobook and I listened to them on 2x speed, so I was able to fly through it this morning. I really enjoyed it. So there's a little bit of a mini wrap up. I'll give like better thoughts on it in the vlog that I am posting next week, which is my friends are picking the books that I'm reading for a week. But yeah, it was good. It's the second book in a series that I've read. It's a middle grade series by V.E. Schwab, but she goes by Victoria Schwab for her junior fiction books. But yeah, so already knocked one off the TBR. Next, I have A Curse Carved in Bone by Danielle L. Jensen. This is another one from this week that my friends picked. I don't have a ton of books picked out for April, even though I want to try to finish all of these this week. Not all of them, but the 4 books my friends picked, just because I don't want to overwhelm myself and I like to leave my options open. But A Curse Carved in Bone is the second book in a series by Danielle L. Jensen. Me and my best friend Sarah read it, the first one, at the same time. I think it was last year. And we both really enjoyed it. It's based off of Norse mythology. It's another fantasy romance. And I really enjoyed it. I barely remember the ending, so I think I'm going to look up a synopsis before I read the second one, because I don't have any recollection. I don't remember what happened. So next, Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross, I believe that's who wrote it. I listened to about half of this audiobook a couple years ago and I really liked it. I was really enjoying it, but I just never finished it. I don't know why, I just never finished it. So I'm gonna restart it and listen to it again this week because my friend Claire picked it for the video of my friends are picking what books I'm reading. I'm kind of spoiling that video, but it's whatever. I would really like to get through this book because I think I'm really gonna like it. A lot of people really, really, really love it. And I think there's a second one. I believe there is. So that's like a priority one for me. Next, we have Thornhedge. Like I said, I DNF'd it last month. I also DNF'd it last year, but it's also only like a 5-hour audiobook. It's a novella. It's like 150 pages, like the physical book, maybe 200. So I just need to like push through and get through it because I was really enjoying it when I read it last year. I just like prioritized other books over it. So I would really love to get it done this month, even as just like a palate cleanser in between books because like I said, it's super short. So, and then I also am going to bring back this. I want to finish this book this month. If I don't finish this book this month, someone needs to like put me in jail. I need to finish this book so bad because I want to finish the series before summer, preferably. So I really got to prioritize this. I'm kind of waiting until my Spotify listening hours reset to listen to the audiobook because Libby, my library, doesn't have the audiobook for it. It only has the audiobook for the first one. And I don't have like Audible or anything like that. So I think the audiobook will be the way that I will get through this book. So putting this back onto the TBR. And then the only other one that I have that I physically own is A Study in Drowning by Ava Reed. I've tried to read this book so many times. I've gotten almost halfway through every time, and then I either pick other books over it, or the first time I DNF'd it was because I wanted to buy a copy and then annotate it. I never did. And I ended up buying this beautiful, stunning special edition, and there's no way I can annotate this. So I'm just hoping to get through it. I have the audiobook on Libby again. I keep downloading the audiobook from Libby. So hopefully I can get through this month because I need to knock this off my TBR. I've had it for so long. That is the TBR for April, as well as everything that I read in the month of March. Let me know if you guys have read any of these books, if you liked any of these books, if you have any other book recommendations for me based off this. This is a really good encapsulation of my taste. I also enjoy horror and thrillers and some romance. Not really contemporary romance though. So if you have any book recommendations, you can definitely let me know because I'm always open to book recommendations. But yeah, let me know if you liked this video, and definitely stay tuned for my next vlog because I'm getting a lot of reading done in that vlog and a lot of things done. And I'm really excited. It's going really well. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being so patient with me. I know my last vlog was only like 13 minutes long and this is going to be another shorter video, but that's why I'm posting 2 this week to like make up for it, hopefully. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.